Hello. I notice that a lot of people on social media and YouTube don't believe that I am who I say I am. And to be honest with you, if you don't want to believe it, you'll never believe anything that I'm going to say. But my name is Gray Hughes. All right. I've been making videos on crimes for, I don't know, 5 years or so because I enjoy making them. I actually know exactly what I'm doing. Okay, I mean, when I see something, I'm able to explain what I'm seeing using, whether 3D animation or video, and I do it factually. Okay, I have worked in the past for. Okay, just to get this clear, I do not work for Rosemont. I have nothing to do with the hotel or anything. Every time I've tried to call the hotel, they hang up in my face. Okay, now a lot of you have probably tried the same thing and you get hung up in the face. All right, I have contacted the funeral home guy a couple times, and what he told me matches exactly what's on the surveillance tape. Okay, so yes, I did contact him. I also contacted Vivotech, spoke with an hour to figure out the whole digital still image. See, I'm doing all this to get the information out to the people, okay? The actual factual information, because you are so deluged with so much garbage videos that are so inaccurate, but they're watched by the masses of people willing and wanting to believe it, okay? Even if it's not true, they want so badly to believe it that they'll just actually watch it and keep sharing it and telling everybody else about it, and it becomes fact in their mind when it's just not. For example, Straight Drop just took my video, the one that I made where I blurred out Kanika's face, and I discussed the two funeral home workers and the gloves, the black gloves that they put in, one in the body bag and then the other one they threw away. It's all right there. It's really clear. It's 100% accurate. There's no disputing what's on the video. Instead, though, he took it and did his classic, film the screen at an angle with their cell phone, wiggle it around a little bit. You see that? You see that? You see that? He does it all over, and they're, twice as many people watched that video that he just made, where he completely lied to everybody, than actually watched the original video that was truthful. So then you ask yourself, why is that? Okay, I just find it really mind-boggling. Anyhow, let's just move on. Okay, so here's who I am. Okay, here's a case I worked on. This is a real one in Brooklyn. And this is a black lady here named Deborah Jordan and her daughter. And they were in a hospital in New York. Thank God this was in a hospital, okay? They were in a hospital in New York. And what's going on here is you'll notice that there's real surveillance footage, right? But it's only 1 frame a second, so you can't see exactly what's going on in the elevator. But through her description to me, I actually talked to her on the phone, I was able to put together what happened, okay? Now watch let me just show this. So see how jerky it is? Because it's only like 1 frame a second. Like she's moving around, so you can't see when she steps over to the elevator. So what I do is I fill in with 3D animation right when they get about to this blue line, and I replace everything out. 3D building and everything of the elevator. The guy comes out. That really happened on the surveillance. And then look at that. The elevator moves with the door open, and then her leg got pulled all the way to the 9th floor, I think it was. Maybe it was 8th. Can't remember right now, but look at that. It's like a guillotine. And it broke her leg. Then she reached back with her right hand, and then her left wrist also got broken. And she got drug up all the way to the, I believe it's the 8th floor. Yeah. Let's see, I think there's one more. She got drugged all the way to the 8th floor, and then eventually paramedics found her. Okay, and the paramedic asked her first, "Are you still alive?" Okay, and to get her out, they had to lift the elevator up a little bit to pull her leg out. and that's when she almost bled out because it was acting as a tourniquet, the gap between the elevator and the building. You know, the little space, you can see it when you get on an elevator. Just look how narrow that is. The fact that her leg stayed attached is just amazing. I don't know how that happened. Okay, so that's that case, all right? So that's actually real. That's a video that I made, and you can look it up. Here is the, let's type it in. Unfortunately, though, the article doesn't mention my name. However, the video is in the article, so I think it's this one right here. The last time I played this, a loud banging ad popped up. Okay, but there's Deborah Jordan. Look at that leg right there. She saved it somehow, but was in the hospital. That's my video that you just watched.
We get bogged down by
okay, here's that ad playing again. I'm not sure why, but oh boy, here we go. Okay, so anyways, so there she was when she was in the hospital recovering. Pretty horrific. And here's the guy that got put in jail for 2 years, and the jury said that my video was what helped really sell what happened. And it wasn't, you know, that is what happened, but now they can see it because the video itself, the surveillance footage, didn't work. So it isn't just, you know, the hotel, the Crown Plaza video camera that doesn't work great all the time, all right? It's all over the place. Those things aren't, you know, they're not always perfect. But this guy, what he did was he bypassed the mechanism that makes it so that the elevator cannot move with the doors open. Okay, he was going to do some repairs. He didn't put any cones out or anything. It was total, you know, reckless disregard. Just did not care. So there's actually other surveillance footage on other floors where the same, right when somebody would step off, the elevator would move up and the doors are still open. I mean, it was just pure luck that other people weren't injured or, you know, killed. People have died from this. There's another accident in New York where someone's head got ripped off. I mean, it was just, it's horrific, you know. All right, so there's that case, and let's see what else we got here. Okay, I worked on this one. You know, these other ones are just ones I worked on when I didn't get paid or anything. Let's see, Gray Hughes, McStay. All right, so here's some videos I made on a different case. All right, so a guy named Chase Merritt,
and there are a multitude of calls throughout the
killed
through 5:48 p.m.
You know, that's what he's accused of, is killing a family of 4. And I made a video that goes through all of the timeline using Google Earth and a clock, much like the clock I used in one of the
during the time
the Kanika Jenkins case to line up all of the. As a matter of fact, it's the same clip that I used to line up a few hours in the and put all the surveillance footage together so I could have something to line it up to in the Kanika Jenkins case. Right.
The defendant's cell phone has contact with 2 different cell towers that are adjacent to each other in the Rancho Cucamonga area.
So as you can hear, this is when I use the digital replacement of my voice.
Yeah. According to the defendant, he and Joseph McStay Sr. met for lunch in Rancho Cucamonga in a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. So that's the Chick-fil-A there. Anyways, you know, I just go through a bunch of different stuff. I show the drive. You know, to the town. I mean, you can go online and watch all this. It's kind of a long. So I actually made a character. I don't know if you can see that, but so he pulls up and I have a character walking on the street. That's the kind of truck that Chase drove. I think he put the bodies in here and drove away with them. Maybe put like a tarp over it. All right, and so these are the injuries. When they finally found the bodies,
during the next
I think it was like 4 years later,
the entire McStay family was brutally murdered as described remains.
They found the remains, and these are the injuries to these different people.
2 fractures of the right frontal bone and a fracture of the left frontal bone. Johnny suffered 2 fractures of the left parietal bone, 4 fractures of the right parietal bone, the fracture to the middle, to the left frontal bone, and that fracture of the sagittal suture. She believed that Johnny suffered at least 7 blows to the head.
Yeah. So there's another one.
Joseph McStay Sr. suffered a fracture of the left parietal and occipital bones, a fracture of the base of the skull, a fracture of the right parietal bone, a fracture of the right.
Yeah. So in that case, the whole family was killed by blunt force trauma, basically, and they were miraculously found in a grave that was, no, not a grave, but in a, I guess you call it a shallow grave. Somebody dug a hole in the Mojave Desert and put them in there right outside of Victorville there. And, it absolutely brutal, But it was a miracle that they were ever even found. People had speculated that they just went somewhere like Mexico or somewhere, but that wasn't the case. All right, and now there's going to be a trial pretty soon with Chase Merritt on this case because, he's the one that they arrested and he did it. And that's my opinion anyways. It's pretty obvious when you look at, if you go online and watch these videos, you'll see it. It's pretty clear. He actually killed them, and then he sat in the house. He wrote some, wrote a check to himself and created an account. It's pretty crazy. Like, when you watch it, it's pretty obvious. All right, so let's see. Oh, yeah, Jodi Arias. I've done that one. Ray Hughes. Yeah, so this video here has a lot of, like, 404,000 views. It's the first one I made. It's like a shower sequence. Because Jodi Arias, this lady right here, she actually killed a guy named Travis Alexander. Almost cut his head off, stabbed him like 27 times. Just a total barbarian. All right. Let's see. Trying to find which one might work. Not sure why these are showing up in the Jodi Arias search, but yeah. Well, let's just show this one. See, these are the photos she took of him while he was in the shower, and he was almost had his head cut off like 3 minutes later. See, it was like this. So I made it an animation of this whole sequence. Added in the sound effects with the camera and everything. Yeah, and so basically there's more pictures, and then later on, I have exactly where all these are located. So he's sitting down in the shower right now, right? And then she takes this shot, and then literally moments later she takes a shot of the ceiling. Something happened. I think she's already shot him in the head at this point, and then she comes up and, there's more. Like, after she shot him in the head, her camera's in the hallway, right? And then, let me see if I can get back to, yeah, like in this one.
This video will attempt to prove that.
So she's in the hallway, and this shot is taken of Travis. So see, that's his head right there. Blood coming over his shoulder, and then his foot really small in the background there. You see that? So let's find, there's a new image that was released by the prosecutor, Juan Martinez, like a year ago, that was, but way after the trial, that had a much clearer picture of it. And then here it is. Look at that. Now you can really see the gap between the toe, the countertops. And if you watch this video, I really go through the whole thing, and I can tell you exactly which tile in the hallway that image was taken from. Okay, so I have some animation. Let me see if I can find the animation part that shows where that was, just so you know that I don't just do debunking. See, her foot was right there, camera, and he was on the ground. That's exactly where it was. So I made a whole model of the kitchen. Took me forever, constant updating, so forth. But that's basically the shot you're looking at right there. Okay, so I've done a whole bunch of videos, all kinds of different cases, and my name is Gray Hughes. I'm not an employee of the Rosemont or the police or anything like that. So if we could just stop with that, I'd appreciate it. I just want to make my videos and kind of be, I don't mind if, you watch them and you ask questions and comment, but the absolute anger and disrespect that I seem to get on YouTube is mind-boggling. Okay, I get like 1,000 questions a day, and crappy comments, and then somebody will say, "Hey, I asked you a question. Why didn't you answer it?" And they act like that's somehow I'm trying to hide something. Well, no, I just didn't read it yet. I mean, I don't even get through it. I can't answer all the questions. Okay, and I really can't answer, nor will I take the time to answer questions that aren't really answerable, like saying something like, "Hey, how come Kanika's shoe's over in that corner? Can you explain that?" Well, I don't have the answer. It's not on video, and I can speculate and so forth. But whenever I'll do a speculation like that, the response is, "Oh, you don't know crap," because it's not fitting into a narrative that they want to hear. So I'm not going to answer those questions. Now, if you have a specific question that can be proven with video or images, I'll do it. Okay, so I am who I say I am, and if you don't believe that, I'm sorry you can't get past your own conspiratorial beliefs. All right, and so until next time, I will talk to you later.